So let's start by having you introduce yourself and say something about why we're doing this video.
My name is Joe Pallen, and I am a member of the Lay Pastoral Ministry team, and I'm here to share a little bit about myself and why I why I was drawn to be part of this team.
So let's start by having you share a little bit about a challenge that you faced in life. Tell us what happened and then tell us a little bit about what helped you get through it.
Yeah, these kind of questions are tough for me to come up with a specific challenge because I feel like my whole life has been a challenge. I was born first generation Lithuanian. And both of my parents struggled in different ways, and it really created a lot of anxiety in me. Uh, my dad was a very angry man, uh, and my mom was a very person with a lot of fear. And she had got separated from her family uh, during the war and ended up in the United States. She was about 17 years old. So I can see why that happened. And so I guess what that meant for me growing up is I was a very anxious person. And I think I did become aware of this as a teenager, but as an adult, I began to really hide it or find places to mask it. And some of them I'm not very proud of. I drank a lot for a long time, did drugs, and and then uh it wasn't until about 2017 I began to really do the work to be comfortable in this body. And it seems like a long time. And, there's some shame that maybe kind of comes with that. But at the same time, here I am in this wonderful place that I'm at in this moment. Uh, so when I say challenge, now maybe I'll talk about this a little later, but the challenge has been to when the anxiety arises is to be comfortable in it and work on it. It's easier to run away, which I did for a long time, but now the work is happening. uh,
Have there been people who have accompanied you or supported you in that work?
well, yeah, and um, I did counseling for years, and I felt like a counselor could never quite understand what I was going through. Well, and I've had maybe two or three that I thought were very good counselors, but one in particular uh, really is the one that got me going on the path I'm on now. And they worked with me and they struggled. They gave me books to read, and I'd come back and say, "Yeah, this book's not really doing it for me." And then finally, in one session, they just said, "You're a photographer, and you're just, And I don't remember. I hadn't started doing the Buddhist practice yet, but maybe there was some tendency because they said there's this Buddhist monk in I think it's Mountain Monastery, New Jersey, John Dowdell Laurie, had read a book about creativity in Zen, and he was a photographer. So she gave me this book, and it was like the most beautiful thing that happened to me in my life. And then the way Joe like just got on it, found a local Zen practice, Buddhist practice, which introduced me to a teacher on the West Side and a Sangha up in Spokane. And that was in 2017. And it's been this spiritual work that has been my friend. And, you know, uh, about the same time, I met my wife, Melissa, and she has a history of spiritual work. So she has been, really supportive, super supportive. And then I also, in 2010, started with a men's group, a local men's group here. And that group of friends have been amazing. And supportive, watching me go through what I've gone through.
So you said that you felt drawn to this work. Can you say a little bit more about why and what kind of support you are looking to offer others?
Yes, through the Zen Buddhist practice, um, it really made me turn and look inside. And that's where the work really started. Uh, Friends have been supportive and everything, but it's really sitting in meditation and going through this. And some of that's very hard, stomach hurts, all kinds of stuff. I remember some sessions where I was just feel like I was going to go crazy. But it really takes that look inside to look at it. And so doing that over the years between now and when I started in 2017, where I'm at right now is the stuff comes up and there's no physical reaction to my body. That was a big deal. It was just sitting, noticing, my body tensing automatically. Sometimes Melissa would say, "What's this breath?" And I'm like, I was just thinking about something I was going to do later, but the body reacts so like that. And so having an awareness of that has been really healing for me. And to do that, you have to listen to yourself, right? Listen to your body and have an awareness of it. And I think that's what I could bring as a lay minister is the compassion and listen, the same compassion I hold for myself, I feel I can now hold for others being in the space I'm in, to bring that compassion and listening. And as I was going through the training, it was just it was a really long training, but it was so beautiful how much of the training, it's not talking about Zen, but it's talking about the same kind of stuff. It's talking about letting go of the ego and just being present and listening and being compassionate. And so I've been this kind of anxious person all my life, and I sometimes wonder about what I was like in other relationships or at work. And I always thought of myself as a nice guy, but I might have been not a nice guy when I was anxious, you know? And I wonder about that. But so where was I going with this? Um, Now that I could see what that's like and being the work that I've done myself to be compassionate, how much that's been so healing, I'd like to share that gift with others and being able to be present without an ego and just to listen and reflect back and help them do the work, their internal work that needs to be done.
Beautiful. Thank you. Is there anything else that you'd like to share?
Um, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think this has been good.
Good. Thank you. I'm so glad that you felt the call or the pull and that you've joined the team. You're a very welcome addition.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Elizabeth.